It's really cool tattoo. Put it in. Goodness. All right. So today was supposed to be reading. And yes, I want to finish Deepak Chopra, but sometimes you just got to change it up, right? So instead, we're drawing fan art. Even though I've talked about how much I dislike fan art, only when people sell it, because that's not right. You can't make a profit off of someone's character, idea. That's just rude. But I felt like drawing fan art. Original OC fan art. So first, we're going to talk about this, which is my family crest, which I think is freaking awesome. Most likely, this is going to be a tattoo for me. I was trying to figure out where would I place it, because my arms are going to be filled with insects, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go up here. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, this is, yeah. And then my chest area is up in the air. I don't know. I still haven't found what I wanted. But I was trying to figure out where would I put this? Because my thighs are taken up by some art that I'm making. I think I'm going to put this on the back of my calf. On my calf. There's no back of my calf. So I'm going to put this one on the right side. And then when I get married, on the left side, I'll put my husband's family crest. So it kind of evens out, because I have this thing where like things have to, I wouldn't put this on the right side. On the left side, because it would drive me nuts because it's facing outward. I'm just weird like that. But anyways, festina lente means make haste slowly. It's an oxymoron. And I think that describes my whole life. Anyways, I thought it was pretty cool. Some of my family history on my dad's side is lost. Because my father doesn't talk to his brothers, and it's lost in their minds, because they know more than he does, because my father is the youngest. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure I can find all that stuff, because I am really good at being a detective. But anyways, so it's kind of hard to see, but I started drawing my character on scrap paper for a Kingdom Hearts kind of character, because I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was the first animation that got me interested in animation. The intro to Kingdom Hearts, the first game, blew me away. I was like, I want to do this. This is going to be my life. And that's why I wanted to be an animator. Give me a second. Why isn't this sending? The freak. Okay. So anyways, I played all the games. I haven't played the smaller games, the ones on DS or whatever, because I don't have time for that. And I prefer the main games because the graphics are higher quality. But I absolutely love the world in Kingdom Hearts, especially the most recent one. I love all of it, but it's so detailed that like I literally just walked and did nothing in in the game. I just enjoyed the environment. And that's something that's really cool about gaming. You know, some people play games just to go through and finish the game and achieve all the achievements and get 100%. I play the game just for shits and giggles, you know, like whatever makes me happy. That's how I play the game. So anyways, Donald Duck. You know the memes with Goofy and Donald Duck? Donald Duck failed me so many times when I was like, I needed healing, and he just used all his MP on Thunder and bullshit, and then I died. That meme is so accurate. If you haven't played the game, you would understand. Don't play the most recent one because they kind of fixed that. They balanced it. But in the beginning, the first game and some of the second game, like you would be on the brink of death, and instead of Donald Duck freaking healing you, he would use his magic and then you would die. But anyways, also another fun fact. Donald Duck in Japanese sounds the same, but he's speaking Japanese. So if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, imagine Donald Duck the way he talks, but he's speaking Japanese. It's hilarious. Okay, so I need to look up reference on faces because I'm really bad. I sent my dad I sent him the crest because he's never seen it. And I told him what it means, and I was like, make hay slowly. And he's like, I Googled it. It sounds like us. Yeah, that's Swift for sure. It's hilarious. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts. I need mouth and nose. Do they have noses when they draw them? Doesn't look like it. It's like non-existent. That's a nice pose. Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts was a beautiful game. And now that I know more spirituality, there's a lot of spiritual messages and stuff that they took from spirituality, like different religions. Unfortunately, I don't have a PS4. My ex had one and he took it. So I can't replay the games. But it's fine. I'm sure I will one day. Let me see. Yeah. So I love Kingdom Hearts so much. This character is just me as a Kingdom Hearts character, like what I would be doing as someone in that world. Let me lower this. Can you see what I'm doing? Cool. I don't know what type of face I would be making. Yeah, I think that's cute enough. I am plotting to steal that bird that's crying every day. I've just had enough. I've just had enough of the bullshit. Every day he cries for attention, and the woman who has him as a pet just sits on her ass watching TV. You know, she doesn't do shit. Because I spy on her, because I can see her through my room upstairs. And she just sits there, you know? Drives me crazy. Freaking driving me insane. But I have to do it stealthily, you know? Like, I have to get a ladder. And I have to make sure there's no cameras. And I have to make sure my roommate isn't awake because he will prevent me from doing it. What must be done will be done. All right. So designing a character, usually you want to do side pose, front view, quarter view, and back. But I'm just drawing my character for fun. I'm not going to take it serious because I'm lazy. So we're going to start inking this with my Vision Elite. These pens are really expensive, but they're so worth it because they don't smudge. And I've taken into account if this character was to be modeled, how the hair would look, because in the game, I mean, the most recent one, you know, they have single pieces of hair, like strands of hair, but they're still anime. So I'm just taking that into account. If I ever want to model this myself, because I can do that, but I haven't done it in years. So that's another thing. Also, I'm always barefoot. I would never wear shoes. Ever. Unless it's cold. So that is another thing I did. And some of the stuff when you ink, you can fix, right? Like if you messed up on the face, you just fix it while you ink. What is this? Oh, I have seeds all over me. Anyways, I'm kind of scared to ink the shirt. Whatever. I'm just doing the zipper because, you know, they have that detailing in the game. The amount of detail that is in the game, like, it just blows me away. In any game, actually, when they have time to do that shit. And I don't know why I'm cursing so much. I'm sorry. I'm a little annoyed with the bird situation. Because that's animal abuse in my opinion, but nobody agrees with me. So, what do I know? You know, let's just. So I would wear a hoodie. I mean, that's just typical me. And you know, kind of accurate, kind of not, kind of fantasy. Let's see what else. So we have that, and the zipper is hoodies are just so comfortable, you know, like they're so comfy. Anyways. Any mistakes you make, when you scan this, you can fix. So, oh God, I made the hands too big. Whoopsies. And we'll make it something. Character kind of like Namine. Namine is an artist, but you know. All right, let's finish these hands. I kind of leave the face for last because I mess up. So, you know. Drawing feet is not the easiest thing, but I think I'm pretty good at it. You know, most people are like, I don't know how to draw feet, but I look at my feet a lot, so you know, I can do it pretty accurately. Debatable, but do. So with anything cartoony, you could always exaggerate features. I didn't exaggerate anything. I mean, the feet is their style because their feet are huge. Everything else is not exaggerated for me. My hair is longer in this because I used to have hair that long. I cut it when I was rebelling against my family because in Hispanic tradition, it's like, I wouldn't say sacred, but it makes you more beautiful in their perspective. And I had really long hair, and then I was tired of their bullshit, and I cut it. And it was very freeing because it was heavy as hell, but my family cried. They cried, and I was like, good. Bitch. Okay, so we have all that. It's inked. Did I ink everything? I gotta make sure I got everything because as soon as I erase, it will be gone. Where is my eraser? Please tell me I have one. Doesn't look like I do. Where is my eraser? Where's my stedlater? Oh, here it is. Best eraser there is. I can't say it. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try. So yes, now we erase everything and it doesn't smudge because the ink is great. Right. Beautiful. Oh, very nice. And also, you want to take into account the paper you use. So this paper is eating my ink, and it bled a little. So it's not the cleanest lines, which means that I would have to retrace them in Photoshop, most likely. But this is just for fun, so I'm not going to do that. One thing I do want to look up is the color I want to make her eyes. So we need to go, let's see if it even, ooh. Oops. Everyone's eyes are unique. Like no one has your eyes. Unless, I'm sure people get it all the time where they're like, oh, you have your father's eyes. But if you look in that person's eyes and look at your relative, your eyes are completely different. Because I'm an artist, I notice details like that. But normal people, I'm not going to call them normal. What should we call them? Should come up with a word. I'm going to look up a word really quick. But yeah, so let's look up the word that's not an insult, because I don't want to insult people, okay? You know what? You're right. Conservative people. All right. Not trying to be political. It's a word. Conservative people. They just see things and then like, oh yeah, you look exactly like, but the reality is your eyes are the most unique things to you, as an individual. It's like a fingerprint, but actually not quite accurate, because now we know that they're not as unique as we thought they were. New science. But eyes, no one in the world has eyes like you. No one has my eyes anywhere. I mean, they may have hazel eyes, but my eyes, it's a signature. I can go deep into this, but anyways, what was I doing? Let's look at the eye color. Well, no one in my family has my eyes, so that's pretty accurate. I don't know anyone who has hazel eyes in my family. My father's half of their family has blue eyes, right? But I have hazel eyes. I'm the only one who has hazel eyes. I don't see the color. Okay, so what I'm going to do, hopefully this computer won't crash, is open up Illustrator and try to make the color myself. And then get the code of the color and put it on this paper. So one day if I want to color this, I can do that. Because every color has a data signature. So, you see it F100, blah, blah, blah. It's really long. having those codes makes your life easier when you're designing something. Because you just type it in and then the color's there and there you go. And I will show you why in a second. In a minute. All right, give me the colors. All right, so this color, All right, I won't be able to do it on Illustrator. That's not going to work. I would have to do it on Procreate, and I'm not going to go upstairs and get my stuff. I literally have to mix the colors together. And you can't do that in Illustrator. Illustrator is a vector-based program. So Illustrator can be used to make vectors and anything that you want big or small without losing pixels. So if you're trying to, what would you use it for? Like basically graphic design, any logo, you make it in Illustrator. Some people use Photoshop for graphic design, which doesn't make sense to me. It's more of a painting tool, but whatever. So anyways, so we have the character, and I say she's done, so I don't want to. Her name would be Michi, because that's my nickname. And it can also be spelled in Japanese. So anyways, so I have two prototypes here. This one is inspired by a man who took the time to make symbols for alchemy for ravens. And I was inspired to make it into a deck. So I have the prototype of, sorry, it's folded, of the booklet. This is just the prototype, it's not the final design. So I scanned this last night because I do want to finish this stuff. I don't want to have all these open projects, and I have the design of the inside, and I'm gonna not show you everything, but I like it. It's cute. And then we have, hold on, I didn't see this paper in here before. That's what I needed. Okay. So yes, keep all your prototype papers with the thingies together, because if not, I was looking for this. I was like, I knew I drew the layout for the cards somewhere. And thankfully, past me was like, put it in the bag. Anyways, so the cards, originally, they're not going to be this size. The cards are going to be bigger. Sorry, my nose is leaking. Bigger than regular tarot cards, because I feel like that would just look better. And for the thing I was talking about earlier, who should we look up? Magenta. So the guy designed the symbols, right? And I was like, those are awesome symbols. And then he has the color related to the raven, right? So this one is magenta, and I put the freaking color because I was like, I need to make sure I get the right magenta, because there's so many magenta, right? And then I wrote down what he wrote, because this is all his information except for the Gaelic, because I wanted to put Gaelic in it. And, it's just a really cool concept to me, like what it is these ravens want to talk about. Ravens are quite intelligent, and they have friends, they have family, they mourn, they play, So I was happy to find this. And this one, the symbol for this raven is devotion. And you say ah. So that's their language. That's what they call themselves. And then it just tells you like what devotion, what the symbol means if you get it. And then if it's reversed, irresponsibility, betrayal, faithlessness, and perfidy. Don't know what that word means. So yeah, so there is so many. There was like 25, and it hurt my hand to write everything. So eventually I just printed it out and just copied and pasted it onto the cards. See, there's some with just the paper. And then now it's time to finish this project. The one thing that I do know is I don't know who's going to print these out, because I want them to have silver, I guess silver ink. Is it silver ink? I don't know how printing works when it comes to like the rose gold and stuff, but I want it to have silver because ravens like shiny things, right? Just makes sense to me. Anyway, so what I did last night is, took me forever because we have a small little scanner and not all 25 of these things fit. I scanned everything together and put it in my drive and labeled it accordingly, because that's really important to label in sequence. And now I can start the graphic design part, the final design, because I have it right here. The card design. So I'm not showing you that because that's my sheet, but it's going to be nice. High quality. I would like to sell them, and give half to the person that made most of the content, because, that's only fair. And then the other half will go to me. So most likely this would be like $60. So I get 30 and he gets 30. I don't want to make it more than that, because that's crazy. Crazy. So yes, best thing ever, putting these, and then you can reuse these if you want. They're also safe from water damage. So that's something I'm going to be working on the coming months. I don't think it's going to take me more than a month to finish this, because I'm fast. Pipeline. And also the second one that I will be finishing, because it's super simple. The more complex games, obviously I'm leaving them for the right time, but the ones that I can finish really quickly, I'm going to finish them. Why not? So let me fold this because it says 2 prototypes. And let me write down a note. This is I gotta write question mark. whatever. So anyways, so sex objects, I'll talk about this. If anyone steals this idea, I mean, thanks, but I will come after your ass, okay? Right? Because I have proof. I don't want to hit myself. Because I'm so, I want to say naughty. Get it? Never mind. It's a play on words, right? Sex objects, when I was coming up with this idea, was how we objectify women, women who are sexual, right? We objectify men as well, who are very handsome and very good looking, so it's a play on words. I don't know why I'm telling you my secrets, but it's also literal sex objects. So this is inspired off of Bedsider. Bedsider.org. It's an organization about safe sex. And let me post it. I got some stickers from them years ago when I was joining groups at schools I didn't go to. And, I liked the design of their stickers because they were smart. Let's see if they have stickers anymore. I don't think they do. So let me see. I can't believe they don't have stickers anymore. What the fuck? Bastards. So yeah, Bedsider is just healthy sex, smart sex, whatever. Stuff that I like, health. Okay. So anyways, it's inspired off of their sticker design because I really liked it. And it's really funny. So they have the two stickers that I got were actually, no, I got 3 stickers. One sticker is a cucumber, like the cucumber, and then it has slices on the side. And obviously the cucumber is the penis and the slices are the balls. And I thought that was hilarious. And then the other one I have are 2 cupcakes. Boobies, right? And then the other one I have is something with a lipstick, but I can't remember what else was involved. But anyways, so this was inspired by that, and I'm combining that with another deck that I bought that was on sale because no one liked it, but I liked it. And it's a sex game. Let me see if I can find the pictures of the scans for lesbian sex, but I bought it because it has rainbows. Because I'm a rainbow girl. Do I have it somewhere here? I don't know where it is. Here it is. So let me show you some of the scans. So this is the scan for the Raven game, and it has an actual tarot card in there for the size of how I want it. And what I would do is just trace that and make a template out of it and then copy paste the content that I want. So that, sorry, it changed. Stop it. But yeah. And then for the other one, did I put 18 plus on this? Is you scan the prototype and the template that you want. And I also want to keep the game rules of the original game, but obviously modify it so it's not like I'm stealing, not keeping any of the art from the original sex game, because that's stealing, and also just the colors, because it's rainbow. Yeah, so basically, by getting that and scanning it, what you do is you can just eyedrop the colors and copy the template like really easily. So that's why pipelining is, you got to think smart, make your life easier. Because if you make it so complicated where you're going around in circles, going that way, and trust me, people like that don't design, they do that. I've dealt with customers that are like, you got to do it this way and this way. And it's like, you're making my job harder. Shut the fuck up and let me do it. Like, but people don't understand the process. They think it's like, oh, that's how, you just think of an idea and there you go. That's the finished product. They don't know the steps in between. So that's why I hate dealing with customers, because they piss me off. Piss me off all the time. And then this other one is another play on words, but this one I haven't developed. I'm trying to think. This might be a board game. I think that would be the fastest one to do, because programming I haven't learned. Let me see something. My phone keeps everything. I catalog everything. Where is it? Deep in the history of my phone. I have so much stuff in here from 2013, whatever. Oh, here it is. So I was developing a game, and I got pretty far. And I have no idea where it is because it's lost in time. But I think it was called Get a Job. And it had to do with how people think it was so easy to get a job when you were homeless. I have never say never, but I have never experienced homelessness. I've only witnessed it, because I'm friends with the people who are living on the street. And also, I worked in the government who was supposed to give you jobs when you were on the street or jobless, or low income. And it's not as easy as these conservative people think, right? In order to get a job in America, you need to have a social security. You need to have an address, right? You need to be able to buy interview clothes. You need to be able to buy your uniform for the job you're working, right? Ridiculous. So I was pretty much fed up with the bullshit of people saying on TV because I was having conversations with people on the street, people who had no homes, and I'd be talking like, we're just having conversation, and then people would drive by and be like, "Get a job," and I'm like, these motherfuckers need to chill. Like, anyways, so I was really frustrated with that concept, that misconception that it's like, yeah, obviously I'm homeless. I need a job. Like, it's totally easy for me to get a job. Meanwhile, this person is a veteran with PTSD who gets triggered, who cannot function in society. That's why he's homeless. But people see him and they're like, oh, he's just drinking beer, getting drunk, So I was really frustrated with that. And I started designing a game. And where is it? Probably somewhere in my sketchbooks. I have to find it. But from what I can see, from my picture, it was sort of a play on Leon Tran's game. What was the name of the game? Dwell. So it was part of like inspired by that, but I obviously didn't want to do the same thing she was doing. And I was overthinking it. So now that I'm more educated and wiser, I can probably make it really quick. So this one is going to be a merge of that one and the current economic status because of Corona. I think that would be really interesting to put. So how would we develop this game? Actually, we should develop it now because it's just an idea. It's just a sentence, right? I need paper. Paper. I don't have any paper here. You know what? I'm just going to use this because I ruined it. I ruined this sheet of paper. I didn't really ruin it. It's just I can use it, but I'm going to use it for this idea. So developing an idea, you just brainstorm. So obviously you want the title. You want to date it too. I love dating things because then I can see the mindset I was in that year. I don't make it like specific. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to remember the day. Like, I don't even know what day it is today. Is today Friday? Yes, I think. So, yeah. So, you want to develop this idea. So, you want to title it. Don't Be Useless is the name that I'm going with, but I might change it, right? Because I want to merge two ideas. Maybe it would be Don't Be Useless, Get a Job. Subtitle, right? Is that what you call it? Subtitle? And what I want to do is, as usual, play on this word. So in graphic design, uppercase, and also on the internet, uppercase text is yelling. So I'm going to do uppercase and also it's going to be an expletive. Is that how you say it? Let me look it up. And I'm not going to show you what I'm writing because, you know, I don't want people to just copy and paste what my hard work. But I'll explain some of it. I think it's an expletive, right? Let me look it up. No. What am I thinking of? It's an exclamation, but for some reason I was thinking expletive. So yeah, let me drink some water because this is making me thirsty. All right. Don't be useless, get a job. Because it's so easy. And the term be, to be or not to be, means exist, right? That is part of the reason why I put that there. And I'm not going to show you how I spelled it because, you know, you have to buy this game. And honestly, this game will be sold and it will be donated to homelessness because why not? So, you know, that's part of the reason why I make games, so donations could go to the community that I'm trying to work for or help. All right. So, current economy, current situation, 2020, we're going to list things that happened. Donald Trump is crazy. I mean, he's always been crazy. We're going to put Corona, Corvid 19. Bullet points because you don't want to go like in detail, you know. Corvid 19 destroyed the capitalist society that America was so proud of. You know, the funny thing is they're always saying we're a democracy, but we're not a democracy. We're a capitalist society. Like, it's, if we were a democracy, we would be okay, but that wasn't true. Never been true, actually. Anyways. How many people lost their jobs? We need that is very important. Give me the numbers. All right, so in April, 15 million people lost their job, as well as over 20 million people. Their paycheck was cut because they didn't want to give them hours, and also because of Corona, so 50% capacity. And unemployment also wasn't 20 million, right? So this I'm going to keep screenshot. Okay, you're not going to screenshot. Hold on. Come on. There we go. So that's important because before Corona, everyone was like, you're homeless, you're trash, you know, you shouldn't be here, you're useless. Don't be useless, right? You know, all these people, we're just going to call them conservatives. They were like, these people shouldn't be alive because they don't do anything. And then all of a sudden, when Corona came, those very same people were not homeless, but were jobless. And some of them are probably becoming homeless, I assume. Isn't it ironic? Like, it's just very ironic. Like, you point the finger, and then the finger gets pointed at you. I love it. I love karma. Like a slap in the face. So, anyways, let's start. Was it in April that this all started? Yeah. Americans who lost jobs. I'm not trying to be mean, you know. But what you put out there comes back to you, right? April 2020. Decline in play. So since I screenshotted this, I'm going to print it out and put it in the prototype bag when I make it. What information do I want to keep from this? I think the jobless claims is the most important because unemployment, it's just a keyword unemployment. April 2020, 20 million people unemployed. In May, let me see, trying to make these numbers make sense. It went down. I think these are false because it's saying this doesn't make sense. What they're trying to say is the graph went down, but the forecast is going to worsen by 8 million jobs. Oh, this was a predictor, so this is old. Let me see if I can find the accurate one. Because they were predicting, they were trying to predict what was going to happen the next month, and they were freaking wrong. You can't predict that shit. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that because they don't have an accurate graph of what has happened recently in the 4 months that we've been involved in Corona, but there's a ton of graphs for other things. Can I please get this, please? And this is very important because it's proof, of many things. Mainly proof of a flawed system that was not very intelligently created. It was based on greed and boomers. And the effects of not having a system of care and community. There's a graph here that talks about the increasing mental illness that is happening because of Corona. I don't care about gender gap in Corona. Okay, this is what I care about. Widening gender gap in share reporting negative mental health impacts from Corona. Women total 53%. Men 37%. Parents of children under the age of 18, women 57%, 32%. Important information. Because men don't want to talk about their mental health here, so, which is really dangerous because if you look at the facts of mental illness and suicide, women who say they're suicidal don't usually kill themselves, right? It's a cry for help. But men, they do it. Like, they're the ones that go through with it. And that's why it's so dangerous. All right, and now we're going to go to more than half who lost their job or income say the coronavirus is harming their mental health. You know, that's what happens when you put your everything into your productivity, that you have to work, and that's what makes you a valid person, like, you know, valued in society. That's the problem with that attitude, and those are the results of. Okay, so where is this graph, dude? They're not giving me this graph. Piece of bastards. All right. Always you know, and then we're going to look up the stimulus check because that was stimulus check. What were they stimulating, honestly? Nothing. Fuck you, Donald Trump. All right, the stimulus check was 1,200, and they only gave us one, and it was supposed to be every month, right? They haven't even done that. That's important, because I'm going to use that as the monetary basis of this game, right? $1,200. And let's look up the term. What do they mean by stimulus check? Like, who are they trying to stimulate? Okay. Because that is also important. Who's being stimulated by this 1,200? Intended to stimulate the economy, right? Right? That's what it says. Intended to stimulate the economy by providing consumers with some spending money. Let me tell you, I'm going to go into a rant, right? Because this is just so freaking Bondoul. It's Bondoul, okay? So stupid. All right. So these white cis men in our government, these boomers, were like, we're going to do such a good job. We're going to give them 1,200 and that's going to fix the economy, right? What they didn't think about is rate of rent, depending on where you live, right? Nowhere in the US is it lower than 1,000 something dollars, right? Okay. So that check that was supposed to go back into the economy, which is spending, shopping, blah, 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 buying groceries, didn't go anywhere but to debt, right? So the only thing that was being stimulated was credit cards and banks. And because of the ignorance of these white cis men, these conservative people, our economy is still in shambles. So that's okay. I want it to fall because it's shit. But 1,200 covers 1 month of rent in Miami. Not even, barely. And then after that, no one has money to buy food. No one has money to buy extra clothing, necessities, etc. So nothing is happening. But I'm not an economist, whatever what do I know? But they're smiling. Like every picture of Trump signing the stimulus bill, he's like, I'm so smart. So anyways, back to the game. All right. So we have these important information, important bullet points. COVID-19, we should put the date, started in April, right? Or before even, because in China it was beginning. But in America, this is an American-based game. You know, they sat there and laughed. China's getting screwed. Anyways, destroy capitalism, or is destroying, we should make it a verb. Destroying capitalism. Americans who lost their jobs, 20 million, continues to grow. And we need to put the stimulus check, 1,200 was supposed to be a month, but it wasn't. And also, jobs are working at 50% capacity, because that plays into the hiring process. No one's going to hire you at this time. So then what do? You end up trying to get unemployment, which no one's going to get unless you had a high-end job, which you wouldn't have lost in the first place. But how do we develop this into a game? Educational game. So we're going to make this a 4-player game, because more than that is just going to be exhausting for me. But okay, so we have 4 players. And you can play this as a 1-player game, because that's how my games work. You know, you don't need someone to be there. Each player is a different color. So I'm drawing the little graphics because I like being organized, right? And we're going to make them different colors. Excuse me. And now we're going to think with our think me business brainstorming, right? All right, so we have different colors, different players. And this relates to another game. I'm going to make a note. Pandemic. Right? Players. So in Pandemic, each color has a specific job to do. Each color has a specific job, and each color has a specific ability to their job. So you have a doctor. The doctor can heal people in the vicinity, blah, blah, blah. So based on the color you pick, there is a benefit, but also a negative. So we're going to do a positive and a negative, right? Because everything has to be balanced. And positive, negative. Who are these people in the game? The most important people that ended up coming to light are the people who are working in the grocery stores, doctors. So we're going to do actually nurses more than doc. Well, yeah. I'm going to concentrate on the nurses because they don't get enough credit. So are they RNs? RNs. We're going to do clerk, but that's going to be related to grocery clerk. Right? So we have RN, grocery clerk, and then these two other people. Who are they? We're going to do general parent, gender neutral, because that would take up space if I do male, female. So parents or parent, male or female or whatever. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but you know what I mean. Fluid, right? And the last person, because this is about homelessness, would be a veteran, because most people on the street are veterans, right? Not all of them, but I'm doing this because I'm going to do a flag behind it because, America loves their veterans, right? They're so important. We love our veterans. Ironically, I'm putting a veteran because we always talk, I don't, but people in the government, people in society, they always talk about taking care of their veterans. They're always grateful for our veterans, but when it comes down to actually taking care of our veterans, no one gives a shit. So I'm using that as a slap in the face to these people who are really patriotic, you know. So we have 4 people: registered nurse, grocery clerk, parents, and veterans. What is the positive and negative to each character? For the registered nurse, it's putting yourself at risk. And obviously, we can go and make that more detailed, but right now, my brain, I need more fuel. For all of these, except for the grocery clerk as well, putting yourself at risk. And they have something new that the RN doesn't have. Minimum wage, putting yourself at risk for minimum wage, which is anywhere between $7.50 an hour to, I want to say, $9 an hour. Not here in Miami, it's $8.75. They they were so happy when they did that. So these people, these essential workers, they are putting themselves at risk for $7.50 to $9 an hour. Isn't that nice? The RNs make between, let's see, what do RNs make? anywhere between $27 to up, right? So I'm just putting plus sign because, so we have the negative, right? It's not really a negative, but I want to have it there so people see it. The positive, excuse me, of being an RN, you're getting an hourly wage of 27 plus, meaning you're getting an extra income. Or is it hourly? Whatever. You know what I mean. 27 plus additional. Why is that a positive? Because everyone got a stimulus check of $1,200, but you still have a job and you're making money, right? So you're not struggling, pretty much, essentially. Grocery clerk, what is the positive? You have a job. That's it. Because nothing has changed with your salary. So you're putting yourself at risk for $7.50 an hour to $9 an hour. I mean, that's how you look at it, right? And I'm going to put in quotes, essential worker. Sarcasm. I mean, they are essential, but the government is calling them essential workers, but they don't want to give them more money. So, bullshit. All right, parents. Positive, negative. Let's do negative first. Unemployed, right? Because you're stay at home or you lost your job because you are not an essential worker, right? Positive of being a parent. I mean, I would say children, so kids. Not going to go into detail because, that's part of being a parent, right? You get to spend time with your kids. Some people don't like that, even though they had kids. They're like, I'm going crazy. And I'm like, why did you have kids? But, anyways, veterans, the negative about playing as a veteran. For the sake of keeping it simple, we are making this as a dice random generator, right? So as a negative, playing as a veteran, I'm going to put unstable, or you know what, let's just put it mental illness or PTSD because that's usually what they have. / addiction, right? So, i.e., you're going to roll a die. A die or dice? We'll do die. Single. Based on what you roll from what. I'm having a brain fart. Dice have 6 sides, right? 6. Yeah. I would know this from, oh yeah, 6. I was right. Depending on what you roll from 1 to 6, that's going to take away from your play, right? So negative from any situation. And right now we can't really see how that affects different stages of this game, because we have to test it out. But playing a veteran is going to be the hardest character to play, right? But also the highest status in our society. Um, you know, the positive of being a veteran. We're just going to put status. Nothing more to that, because it's just the status at this point. When these young men went to war, they were promised all these things, and none of them ever came through. So not my fault, but that's the reality. So anyways, we have the characters, players, game board. What would it look like? And that's what I usually struggle with, is the game board. So how can we develop this game board? Because it's just going to be the United States, right? So United States, let's look up some stuff for inspiration. Pinterest. Why do I have that song stuck in my head? All right. This is going to have to be a little bit more researched upon. I don't care about any of that, please. Just just put it there. I don't see anything that inspire. Oh, yes, we have something. All right. So I found an infographic about how laws are made in our Congress in the United States. And I'm saving it because it looks like a game board, right? Where are my game designs? Oh, here. No, wait, no. Yes. I'm gonna add a section. All right. So this graphic has how every bill is passed through our government, or how it should be passed. And I'll show you what it looks like, because it does look like a game board, right? So obviously not using the whole thing, but ironically using that, right? And for now, wow, this video is an hour and 30 minutes. We are keeping that as reference. Oh shit. I'm trying to, okay. And develop that idea more, because the game board is important, but I need a break, because brainstorming takes a lot of mental energy. But so far, I like where this is going. So yes, the game board is the next part of this, and then we're gonna do the cards, or like the event cards. Actually, no, we don't have to do event cards, because the event was Corona. It's a global event, right? Ironically, global is what they use when everyone on the game board is affected, right? So a global event would be Corona. And then, yeah, we don't need any event cards, actually. The whole game is just to get a job. Perfect. So yes, that is it for right now. I will continue this today, because, you want to hit the ideas and spew them out when you're inspired. And that will be later today. I don't know when. But yeah, I'm having fun. Like, this is fun as hell. And thank you for watching.